Ninja versus samurai. Who were they really? They moved in the same land but lived by different codes. The samurai stood in daylight with banners and lacquered armor. The ninja walked in moonlight with silence and disguise. One declared, "I am here." The other asked, "Did you even see me?" The samurai were the sword of the state. They served a lord openly, swore oaths, collected stipends, and fought in organized campaigns. Their identity was public, their duty formal, and their lives bound by a code called Bushido, a way of loyalty, courage, honor, and self-control. To fail that code could be worse than death. Ninja shinobi were the shadow of the state. They worked where armies could not march. Their creed was results: gather intelligence, sabotage supply lines, infiltrate castles, exit unseen. To a samurai, those methods looked dishonorable. To a strategist, they were priceless. The samurai society began with status, birth, rank, clan, and allegiance shaped daily life. A samurai trained in the arts of the bow, spear, and sword. He also studied calligraphy and poetry because power needed polish. His armor announced both protection and prestige. His sword was an heirloom and a promise. Ninja society began with necessity. Many were drawn from frontier villages in mountainous Iga and Koga, where survival demanded flexibility. Their schools taught climbing, swimming rivers at night, silent movement, lockpicking, ciphers, regional dialects, and misleading footprints across snow and sand. Their uniform was whatever let them blend: porter's clothes, monk's robes, merchant's layers drew invisibility by looking ordinary. On the battlefield, the samurai's world was order. Lines of spearmen, cavalry charges, volleys of arrows, drums and conch shells to signal formations, banners to mark command posts. Skill meant timing, discipline, and the courage to stand where arrows fell. In the shadows, the ninja's world was opportunity. A half-latch gate, a cook who steps outside to breathe. A guard who listens more than he looks. Skill meant patience, improvisation, reading people as carefully as terrain, and creating exits where none existed. Weapons revealed their philosophies. The samurai prized the Yumi bow for long-range power, the Yari spear for reach in formation, and the katana for decisive close combat. These blades were poetry in steel, balanced, beautiful, expensive. The ninja favored tools that hid in plain sight. A farmer's sickle turned into the kusarigama, a length of chain into a trap, caltrops scattered like seeds, smoke mixtures to block sight and memory. A tool didn't need a legend, it needed a purpose. Training shaped their minds differently. The samurai practiced ritual to quiet fear, tea ceremony for focus, forms and kata for control, hours of repetition until the hand obeyed without hesitation. The ninja practiced misdirection and mental feints, dropping coins to draw a glance, imitating accents, crafting rumors that arrived before they did. A samurai mastered himself to stand firm. A ninja mastered the moment to make firmness unnecessary. Honor divided them and sometimes united them. The ideal samurai faced a worthy foe with name and lineage. The ideal ninja prevented bloodshed by ending a conflict before it became a battle, even if nobody knew who acted. Honor asks, "Is this right?" Strategy asks, "Will this work?" Wisdom asks both. Consider a castle on a ridge. At dawn, samurai survey the walls, chart the archers' nests, calculate ladders and shields, ready the rams. At dusk, a ninja studies smoke from the kitchens, listens to changing guard rhythms, palms a borrowed key, and walks in carrying a crate as if he belongs. The samurai planned to break the gate. The ninja plans to open it. Legends muddied reality. The stage gave us ninjas in pure black to disappear among stagehands, but real missions favored peasant browns and working blues. Stories made samurai flawless swordsmen who never bent rules, but many learned subtlety when survival demanded it, and many lords quietly hired shinobi while preaching honor in public. Who wins in a duel? The one who fights in his world. On an open field at noon, with armor, reach, formations, and relief troops, the seasoned samurai holds the advantage. In a narrow alley at midnight, with dry leaves underfoot and a back door unlatched, the seasoned ninja owns the moment. The better question is not who wins, but who chooses the ground. Their fates diverged as Japan changed. In Chaos the Warring States era, both roles were essential: banners for the day, footfalls for the night. When unification brought strict rule and long peace, open war faded and the loudest shinobi missions dried up. Many disappeared into other work: scouts, guards, couriers, neighbors whose pasts you never learned. Samurai became administrators, tax officers, and teachers of the arts. Then watch swords turn ceremonial as firearms and bureaucracy reshaped power. Even their errors taught different lessons. A samurai's mistake could be public and irreversible. A ninja's mistake could be invisible but catastrophic: a rumor planted in the wrong ear, a lock relatched, a heartbeat too soon, a footfall that echoes in a hall meant for whispers. Each craft demanded a price: discipline for the samurai, adaptability for the ninja, and the bill was always due. Listen to their languages. The samurai's sentence is declarative: announce the standard, rally the ranks, follow me. The ninja's sentence is conditional: if the wind shifts, if the guard coughs twice, if the lantern gutters, move now. One speaks to many, one listens for the one thing everyone else ignored. Their gear tells time: the samurai layered iron scales and silk cords, lacquer shining under sun, a moving banner of the clan. The ninja carried light: a coil of rope, a handful of spikes, a thin saw hidden in a belt, powders to cloud or sting. When you must leave by a window you didn't enter, wait is the enemy. Their schools left different books. Samurai scrolls preserved lineages of sword and spear, ceremony and poetry. Ninja manuals, like old compendiums of shinobi arts, recorded timing, signals, catalysts for smoke, blends that rangefind torches in rain, and fragile maps of human behavior: when to lie, when to vanish, when to make the other man choose what you need without knowing he chose it. They share more than legend admits: both endure hardship, both drill to exhaustion, both accept risks that civilians cannot imagine. Both can be brave, both can be cruel, both can be kind. War compresses all possibilities into terrible distances, and they walk those distances by different roads. If you want to learn from them in our world, take this from the samurai and anchor principles that hold when storms rise. From the ninja, a sail adaptation that steals wind others waste. Tie them together and you get direction. Cut either one and you drift or sink. Picture a negotiation, a job hunt, a family crisis. Sometimes you must stand openly, name your terms, and hold your ground with calm clarity. That is the samurai way. Sometimes you must move quietly, gather the missing facts, change the conditions, and let the problem collapse under its own weight. That is the ninja way. The art is knowing which battlefield you are on before you draw your blade or your breath. Myth made them opposites, history made them neighbors. Day requires night to measure light. Rules require creativity to avoid breaking. Steel requires shadow to shine. The samurai reminds you to be worthy of power. The ninja reminds you to be worthy of outcomes. So when people ask, ninja or samurai, who is greater, the answer is a lesson, not a winner. The samurai says, become the person who can be seen without fear. The ninja says, become the person who can act without applause. Together they whisper, choose the ground, choose the method, choose the future you leave behind. If this story helped you see both paths more clearly, take a breath before your next decision. Ask yourself, do I need a banner or a shadow? Then move with purpose. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one.